Anita, you're the director of Princess Ida, Gilbert Sullivan operetta, which is appearing at Yeadon Town Hall in February. Why did you decide to base it in a 1960s holiday camp?
I think when I look at all of the shows that I'm going to direct, I really spend a lot of time with the story, thinking about, being really precious to the material that people love so much, but also thinking about how could we open it up to new audiences, make it really colourful. And I think Princess Ida really lends itself to being updated a little bit, because it's not one of the hugely popular ones. It's not the one that everybody thinks, oh, it should be done in this particular way. But it is about basically two rival gangs, a little bit West Side Story in a way, kind of thinking about where could that be, how could it work. It's really colourful, it's really funny, and kind of once I hit on the idea that could it be in two rival holiday camps, it works really, really well. So you've got Hildebrand's camp, Garmer's camp, and the translation is brilliant. If you set it in the late 60s, which is kind of the heyday of holiday camps, or just when the heyday was beginning to end, you're also thinking about the women's movement starting a little bit more. So therefore Princess Ida's retreat, which is Castle Adamant, as it would be in the actual show, suddenly fits really nicely at the end of the 60s as well. So it just works, and it's hopefully going to be a really respectful updating of the story.
Will the libretto change at all?
We're going to make a few little liberties with the script. We're not touching the songs or anything else. I think particularly where there are really long speeches that would have worked perfectly well in the medieval timing that it's possibly supposed to be set in. That's the other thing about this show, is we're never 100% sure where it should have been set in. There's not a really clear, people usually do it in medieval times, but it's not necessarily where it was meant to be. So I think on some of the particularly long speeches we're going to try and make some 60s references. But in terms of, and this is what I mean about being really respectful with it, certainly thinking about the songs, they don't change at all. They stay exactly the same. It's just the characters around that we play with.
Lovely. It sounds very interesting, this, doesn't it?
Should come and
Are you looking forward to it?
Yes, I think so. We've just started rehearsals, so we've done a couple of rehearsals.
And it's obviously
already starting to come to life.
And it obviously relates to today, doesn't it, very much? You brought it up to date. So.
Yeah, and not up to date in such a way that, hopefully the audiences that we attract are obviously of a certain age, but they would have been young in the 60s. They would have, hopefully that will kind of bring back a bit of their youth. But it's also colourful enough to open up to some new audiences, which ultimately, if you want Gilbert Sullivan to survive, it's going to have to do.
Sounds good. Look forward to it. Thank you.